All right, so got the various eyes completed, as you can see here, and even got my damaged one mounted. I need to fix it to where it stays fixed like that, but that'll just be the one to be covered up anyway. We got those. So now I think we're going to move on to assembling the rest of the eyepiece and getting the eyes attached to these, so we can go ahead and wire all this up to the circuit board that goes on the back. Alright, so here we are. We have completed the assembly, or most of the assembly of the eye mechanism. Notice here, I think I may have mentioned before, I got a plastic gimbal ring. This is not permanent. I've got to get some of those sourced. I just put a plastic one to get this assembled. Would not recommend using 3D printed parts on some of these structural pieces because this is a very hard to come by and expensive piece. So definitely don't want that to be holding that together. But you can see here, I got this all nice and assembled. Always test your parts. I was running a test on the first one of these, and I couldn't get one of the up and down or left to right to move. I think it was left and right, and it was because I had a bad solder on this port over here. So definitely testing that out is weeded out some of the problems. But yeah, it's not perfect. I need to zip tie some of these lines together. I'll probably do that here in a second, get them all nice and cleaned up. There is a bar that comes out the back here, so this is the bar that does the eye pop. So this goes in there, and then the whole piece on the head moves in and out. I have not put this in there because I needed to get some more of this material to make another one of these. I was gonna put a 3D printed part on one of these temporarily, but I decided, you know what, I'm not even gonna mess with that. Just went ahead and ordered this. It's $2 for a stick of this, and I can pick it up locally. So we'll go pick that up next week, and I'll use this one as my template to do the other one and get that made. So, but this is what it looks like with the bar on it. So this one's completed. I zip tie the lines around that to kind of keep them stable. Hot glue the circuit board to the back, which seems to work really well. Got it all lubed up. Got the lights in. Now, I put double back sticky tape on these lights. I know they sort of snap in, but they don't tend to stay sometimes. So I did that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It turned out pretty much how I expected it would. So we got that one, and then we have the third one here. Yeah, here we go. So I think I'm gonna get some of these wires kind of cleaned up, and then probably move on to the getting the head put together. All right, next part of this, I decided I was going to finish up these eye tubes. So these are the machine ones Input had done. Fantastic work on those. And these are some that I did probably 4 or 5 years ago for the original Johnny I was building. Ended up abandoning these and using some others that were manufactured by Input. And I believe that's where I got them. I honestly don't recall. I'd have to go look. These are fine. There's nothing wrong with these. I just decided not to use them. I mean, they're a little rough cut on the inside, but they were already painted and everything, so I'm going to use those on my punk version, and I'm going to use these on my other head, the other ones. And so one of the things is you got to drill or countersink this here, and it's really hard to get in there with a regular drill. So went to Harbor Freight. I got this little left 90-degree dude here, and then I got a little bit to stick in there. Oops, there we go. A little bit to stick in there. I don't think I'd recommend this tool. I would say look for something online. I don't know if this one's got a defect, but it wobbles a little bit when it turns. This wobbles a little bit, so it's not very exact. I mean, that's fine for this, but I mean, it's $20, so it's not a really great tool. This is what it looks like afterwards. So I mean, it does the job. I had to buy the little bits separately that would go in there because my regular countersink ones go in a regular drill chuck, so that wouldn't work. So yeah, so it's just it's just not that great. All right, I stand partially corrected on this. For this tool, it's okay for these. I mean, this must be a softer aluminum than that set because it had no problem cutting that out, and you can see the holes really nice. So yeah, you just gotta be careful how much you push down on them. I got a little deep, but nothing that's gonna break the bank. Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're buying this just for this, that'll be good enough. If you want to buy something for, to have for other things, this is probably not your tool because it's not the greatest tool quality, but it'll do the job for this. Good evening, everybody. Thought I'd give a little brief update on the head progress. So as you can see here, got a couple of eye tubes put on. Been able to paint and assemble the tops of two of the heads here. So there you go. I need to touch that one up a little bit. That needs to be black right there. But other than that, look pretty good. This one's going to be the punk head. So as you can see here, this is damaged. This came off my original head. It was broken. So I thought it'd be perfect for the punk head. And it's got some other imperfections on it that we'll do with that. And then for the bottom, been working on is the servos that go in the lower eye flaps. So you can see here, I got the longer pieces on there, longer arms, so you can put the Saint face plate on there. Got a bunch of pieces printed out, various parts. About to use these here to mount. This will go inside here. This will go inside here like that to mount the servo or hold the servo in place. Now you got to modify these servos to put them in here. So what I've done is you just basically take one of these servos, and I'm using the BB version, the plastic gear version, and I'll tell you why, because these hardly have any kind of force that they're having to overcome. I mean, they're just essentially just moving that small little flap up and down. So these work really good. And what I did on mine is I took an M3 screw. So I had a pack of these already. Let's see here. Had a pack of these already. And the screw, and I cut about that much off, just the tip, to make it long, just long enough to do this. And then so what I ended up doing is print this, and this. Now this is not painted yet. I got to paint this because I sanded it, but I didn't paint it. And I've got to tap the inside of that as well. But I basically printed these and then tapped the plastic piece that's on the inside here to have that screw to be able to thread in there, because the screws that come with it are going to be like this. I mean, you can get longer versions of these, but I mean, I already had these other ones. I have a tap, so go ahead and modify that, and then it ends up working out pretty good like you see over there. Now, another thing you have to do on these is you have to drill into the back here for the cable to come out in a different location. So you can see here, it's coming out the back or the bottom of it there. So I'll have to modify these still. I've got to drill a hole here, take the screws out, drill a hole here, rerun the wire. So that's not in the way, because the way this goes in here is it has to be able to butt right up against the has to be able to butt up against there like that, and they can't have this sticking out. One of the tip too is I would scale these parts up slightly by like I think I did it like 103% or 102%. Now this is ABS, so I adjusted for the shrink factor. If you use other materials, may not have to do that. But what I found is if you didn't scale it up a little bit, this piece will not push onto the sprocket or to the gear here onto the servo very easily. It just ends up being too small. So kind of couple tips there for you. And yeah, so coming together, I'm going to continue to put these in here. Another tip is don't put these on before you do this, because then you have access down in there, as you can see on that head. So I haven't put those eye tubes on yet, although I did get them painted. So there's that. But I had already mounted this, so I didn't want to take it back off. But it'll be okay on this, and then for that one, I'll mount those on there before I put the eye tubes on. So, yep, there's the update.